Alrighty. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarang. I'm a PGY2 here at Brookdale. And we have a special guest again today, Dr. Fisher.
Me.
You already know who he is.
PGY 32.
Yes, exactly. And so today we have two topics we're going to talk about. The first one is about residency interviews. This is peak season right now. I know you guys are waiting for that interview invite email in your boxes. And so we're going to address interviews, how to prepare for them. And the second thing is we're going to talk about the new news about the H1B visa requiring $100,000 fee, but we're going to get to that later. So Dr. Fisher, we're going to start with the interview question. So what kind of questions do people get from the program director when they do the residency interview? I know this can be different depending on each program and depending on which program director it's coming from. But yeah.
Well, first of all, good to see you and be with you again, Sarang. You have a particular talent for doing interviews. Not everybody can do that. And let's remember, before they go into the facts of things, that you have practiced and studied and worked so long to get to this point. And now you just have a few minutes, literally, between those of you who either went to combined 6-year college medical school or 4 years of college, then medical school, or some of you have been in the match before, and now you literally just have to go a little bit longer. And then you look back in this in the rear view mirror and said, oh, all of the struggle was worth it. All of that effort, all of that sacrifice was worth it, because I just came off of rounds myself, and I am very lucky to say, wow, I get to be at the bedside in the emergency room, the ICU, the regular hospital floor, doing the right thing for sick human beings with a whole team of people. And that is just a wonderful thing. So I'm giving you that little message to your future self in case you're suffering from anxiety, which is everybody.
Yes.
So the first question is, what are the questions that the interviewers ask?
Yeah, what are the questions, common questions, program directors or the attendings, whoever is doing the interview, what kind of questions do they usually ask?
Well, it's different between different program directors, so I'll give you a range of things. And some people start out with, tell me about yourself. And that may seem sort of really basic, but people get stunned. They get paralyzed. And the most common mistake that people make is just restating their CV. Well, I'm from this country. Well, I went to school at this school. Well, I went and I did this, and I have this research thing, and you're just restating your CV. It's not telling them about yourself. For instance, if I told you the name of my medical school and residency and fellowship, it doesn't convey. I love being at the bedside, goofing around with patients. I like making jokes in the clinic with the staff, and who I am about myself is that I want our residency to always be doing something big in the world. That's why we've made movies. This residency is always, how did I get to an Oscar nomination? It's because a whole group of people supported. So that would be saying who I am. Tell me about yourself. The other thing is that some people, you got to go prepared for questions like, tell me about a difficult situation that you had with a patient and how you got out of it. Tell me about an ethical issue that came up for you and how you got out of it. Tell me what do you do when you're having conflict with another trainee? Has that ever happened? How did you handle it? So they give you hypothetical situations. Also, you have to be prepared to answer questions on anything that's on your CV. For instance, there was a guy who was applying for prelim medicine for neurology. And he said on his CV that he ran research teams for Parkinson's disease. And he was the head of the research team at his medical school, and he had done all this thing in Parkinson's disease. And I said, okay, what is apomorphine? Well, it's a dopamine agonist. Sounds like morphine, but it's really a dopamine agonist. Okay, what is the dopamine agonist you can use if a patient can't swallow? because Parkinson's patients have a hard time swallowing. Well, it's ropinirole. Ropinirole comes as a patch. Ropinirole. How about this one? Isradifylline. What? Isradifylline is a medication that smooths out on-off phenomena. How about this? A patient gets admitted and people forget to use forget to give them their Parkinson's, sudden withdrawal of Parkinson's. What metabolic problem are you at risk for? Well, it's rhabdomyolysis. I go, okay, dude, you put that you're a super expert in Parkinson's. I didn't put that on your CV. You put it on your CV. You told me that you're a super expert and the cutting edge and you're a leader in this. And you can't name 4 different medications that are used in Parkinson's disease. So if you have it on your CV, you have to be prepared
To answer everything.
to be asked about it, particularly if it's a source of why you're special. Now, lousy places give you patient care scenarios. Lousy places test you and say, you have a person that had a motor vehicle accident and they got intubated on day 3 and they developed a how would you handle that? Lousy places give you case scenarios.
Yeah, I have that before too.
Yeah, that's insecure places because, first of all, oral exams were discontinued because they're notoriously biased. Because it's like type. Oh, I love the hair, you know what I mean? And so or maybe I don't. The point is, it's very subjective. But if you do get asked, you have to think on your feet, and there's no way to prepare for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So people will ask you things like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Some places may insist that you go, hey, what sort of fellowship are you looking for? And here's how I'd answer that. Well, I think I'll wait and I'm going to see. I'd like to have a broad exposure across general medicine, and I think it's too early to decide. And I'm open to things, and we'll see what is a right fit for me later. And I'm telling you why to do that. Because GI and cardiology are the 2 most competitive specialties, and the program director does not want to hire 15 people who all want cardiology.
Yeah.
So I would not tell them. Now here's the other question. If you're applying in something more competitive, let's say you're applying in, anesthesia is kind of competitive and radiology, but something much more competitive. And they say, are you applying with a safety in another specialty? First of all, they shouldn't be asking you that. For instance, it is against labor laws to say, are you planning on starting a family? Are you married? How many children do you have? But you're stuck because you can't say, that's an illegal question. And so if you are asked, you have to say, why, yes, I am. However, my husband knows that I am currently planning on being married to my residency. And that's what you do. And if they ask you a question that should not be asked, you give an answer that lets them know, I have no other priorities except this residency program. So, for instance, I interviewed a woman who said, well, my most important priority is my husband.
So then that's not going to work.
Like, oh, that's nice. So the last thing is on the, are you applying with a safety? They shouldn't, it's kind of the equivalent of saying, hey, listen, are you seeing any other men? And you're like, why are you asking? I'm with you now. Why
Am
are
I
you
committed
asking
to you or
that?
not?
And so what's the answer to that question? Of course not. Baby, you're the best. There's no one but you.
You got it? Yeah. So, Dr. Fisher, so among all the applicants, there are a lot of people who have red flags. And when I say red flags, older graduates, 10-year or more, or people who have step attempts, whether it be step 2 or step 1. These people, they always ask, should I bring this up during the interview, or is it better to not bring it up until the interviewer actually brings it up and asks about it? Like, what's your opinion about that?
So if a failure or a low step score or if year of graduation, and some people cut it at 5 years.
Yeah.
If those things were a consideration, you would not be on the interview. In other words, if the year of graduation and a failure or low score was an absolute exclusion for the program, they wouldn't have invited you. They wouldn't have invited you. And then if it's something obvious, like a failed attempt, you should definitely bring it up. Because it shows courage, it shows that you're not in denial. Because the thing that people will not be able to tolerate is people who say, oh, those tests are all nonsense, they should be done away with. Because there was a guy who was a very charming fellow, and he either had a really low score or a failure, I don't remember. And he said that. He said, these tests should be done away. And I go, dude, best wishes for all your future endeavors. Because that is now, nobody else is going to say this to you on interview. I say it because I'm the great and powerful Conrad. And I view everybody as, a student. And so therefore, you don't want to belittle the test by saying it's a nothing.
Yeah.
You say, look, you'll clearly notice my lack of performance on the standardized test. I wish that there was a test that could show my commitment. I wish there was a test that could show my level of hard work. If there was USMLE Step 4 that measured my commitment, I have a 260 on that one. That if you give me a chance, I will not let you down. I will give everything here, and I will prove to people that I'm more than the step scores, and I would like to think I'm a good investment. And that's how you address this. And the other thing is, people who are older graduates, you say, well, you know, I may be 38, but I have a beginner's mind. I have a beginner's mind. I take tennis lessons from somebody who's 10 years younger than me. I take piano. If you can make something like that, that's really true. Because the thing about year of graduation is people think that you're going to not be able to be supervised by somebody who's 10 years younger than you. Because in some cultures, respect for age is bigger. American culture is not. But for others is, well, you expect to be
respected.
You're respected and treated a certain way. You say, no, I don't care if a 23-year-old tells me to come and vacuum the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm happy to do so.
So now I do have a question regarding after interview emails. So I know a lot of people, after they finish the interview, they send emails to say thank you for the time to interview. Is it better to send the thank you email? Is it better not to send? What do you recommend? And has there any experience in the past where you got a thank you email and that kind of changed your perspective?
Yeah, I actually would do it with a physical card.
Oh,
handwritten.
Gotcha.
I would do it with a physical handwritten card to the program director, because emails they come and go. For instance, one of the things I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but letters of interest are there at 10 to 20 to 30 a day in peak season. And I can't even see my email.
Yeah.
And I know that it's become a fashionable thing to send letters of interest, but I get them all the time. I would do a handwritten card. Thank you for a chance to be there, and anything specific that you can remember. I loved hearing about how you presented on A, B, and C in the presentation, or any individual detail, because a handwritten card shows an effort. It shows something about who you are.
Yeah.
Don't enclose any money in it, though.
Yeah, that sounds meaningful, more than just the email that everyone else sends, and there's just too many of them.
Well, the other thing to put in is things with your picture. It could be your Eros picture. So if you did a card, you could put print out a thank you note in it that has your image. because people tend to remember what you look like
Uh-huh.
more than they remember. Like, for instance, we are going to do 500 interviews. I don't even remember my own name.
That's too many. Yeah.
So you lose nothing. Look, you'd lose nothing by a thank you email.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, you're not as memorable.
It doesn't leave an impact
Doesn't leave an impact
as much. Okay.
as much.
And the next question I have is in terms of the background. So a lot of people have like a plain, just white background, or they filter out everything so it's a blurry background to just focus on them. And the question is, what kind of background would be best?
So, Sarang and the Director of Student Services set up what you're seeing right now. The rest of the room is plastic stackable chairs and tables that are serviceable but not as comfortable. Oh, somebody put a warm, brown, comfy, wumpy chair to sit in. This plant did not grow here originally. Also, it's live.
It looks very healthy.
So, also, if you notice it, the colors of the pseudophyca plant is green and brown, and everything matches. You see, that shows care. And I'm sensitive to those things because you can see in these sorts of detail that it reeks a certain type of graciousness, welcoming, and caretaking. And these things make a difference even if people can't verbalize them like the hyperverbal Dr. Fisher. And so the background here says what Sarang's brand is. That we want people to be at ease and feel welcomed so their ideas can flow, which is how I take it. So you have one opportunity with the interviewer to make a first impression. You only have one chance to make a first impression. And each detail in your background matters. The fact that you see me making eye contact with the audience and with Sarang matters. For instance, you have to make the effort to look directly at the camera instead of looking at the person you're speaking to on Zoom on their image.
Which
So
is
you
really
give
hard, actually.
You give them a feeling of presence. So every detail, and I'm strongly against plain white backgrounds. Because I actually have a standard joke. I go, what are you, in the witness protection program?
Yeah.
You know, so, and if you don't know what to do with it, then plants and books is always good. For instance, if you look at certain news shows when they're interviewing people over Zoom, they will subtly have either their own book in the background or books that they think are important. And so that is one of the most underdone big mistakes. The background is underdone and you're wasting an opportunity to say who you are.
It's just like your office. It kind of tells a lot about who you are.
Yes, my office is set design. That's right. And what do you notice about my office?
Well, you have a lot of different things from different countries and a lot of writings as well and gifts from other people that are meaningful.
That's correct. That's correct. I have a Jewish mezuzah. I have a Nepalese prayer wheel. Okay. I have a quote from the Quran. I have Madonnas and Virgin Marys and crucifixes. I have an Om, and I have original art from Brooklyn to say what I value. There's a hard question. There is something that's in most doctors' offices that is not on my wall. Something that's in many doctors' offices, particularly professors, that you don't see in my office.
Your like license or, you know, doctor's certificate or graduation.
Good for you. good for you. And how? They're good for you. Okay? Because that's exactly right. Because why don't I have my degrees and diplomas? My board certification for Mr. Board Review Guy is in its envelope thrown in the back of the room that we can't even see it. It is because I'm with students and people who haven't finished residency, and therefore it equals the sense of power. So it's not, I'm the great big guy with all that completion and you're small. And also it says, I don't care how many years I've been at this, I'm just getting started, right? Walt Whitman, when he was 37, says, Walt Whitman, 37 years old, in perfect health, begin hoping to cease not until death.
Yeah, so good background that shows who you are, I guess, would be the best thing to do. And also, if they don't have a setup, I guess it's good to have that setup to show what they really love and like and show who they are as a person. And the last question I have regarding the interviews is, after the interview, what do you think would say that the interview went well or interview did not go well?
The number one thing is whether they spend a long time with you. That's will tell you how you did well, okay? It's like any relationship. Did she leave 5 minutes after everything was done? Okay, so then you see there, okay? And so, that's still PG-13, I think. So the issue is how you tell how long people spend with you. And the other thing is, it is subjective in a way because it's also telling you, did you feel relaxed? Did you feel that there was a back and forth about things? And just getting a general sense of how it went back and forth. I spoke to the chief medical officer of a certain hospital recently. I went to look into something, and I went to introduce myself, and she goes, so the chief medical officer, and she goes, I know who you are, Dr. Fisher. Chest pain, shortness of breath, hypotension, confusion. I know who you are. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And sarcoid, amyloid, hemochromatosis. She said, I was in your step 2 class 18 years ago in Manhattan.
Wow.
And then she said, I said, I'm going to tell people about this. Because I'm going to tell them 1 minute you're in a step 2 or 3 class, and then you got to fast forward, and now became the chief medical officer.
Crazy.
Of a major hospital in New York City.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't know what you're going to become. You don't know. And so I think that you can tell because there was a lot of back and forth, and we were sort of actually in a way almost interrupting each other because there was just so much sort of excitement about what to talk about. And that is how you tell. The other thing is, it's also very important to always have questions to ask. Now, the questions to ask for an interviewer is difficult because you can't say nothing. You can't say no because it makes you look disinterested.
Exactly.
Think of it like this. You're out on a date and somebody says to you, is there anything about me you'd like to know? And the person goes, no. Okay? It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And how you can tell is if you get your interviewer to laugh. If you get your interviewer to laugh, then you've done well.
All right, so now we are going into our next topic, which is going to be very essential right now to talk about.
Essential Topics by Sarang and Fisher.
So, Dr. Fisher, you've already heard that the current administration already started this, and it's starting September. any employer who is going to hire someone from a foreign country requiring an H1B visa will have to pay $100,000 application fee. Crazy. So now it's a big topic because
Someone just put an electrode on my scrotum, you know what I mean?
exactly. So I mean
Exactly.
it doesn't affect just the tech companies and some other job out there, but it affects healthcare workers, and which is really big. And yeah, so what do you think about this current situation?
So I think that there's going to be exemption for doctors. I think it's going to be an essential worker exemption. There's already some hints towards this. It was the same way that when there was a blocking of J1 visa processing, that people came to realize that that's not a good thing to do the week before July 1st. And so I still think that there's a high likelihood that it won't affect doctors. Second, if it really does happen, then we're dead. No H visa. But there'll still be J's, be dead. The country is going through something that happens in cycles since the start of the country. Since the start of the country, once people are here for one or two generations, they always start questioning, who's the real American? Who should we let in? And the Asian Exclusion Act, 1896, by law, blocked all Asians from having citizenship for the usual wrong idea of they're coming to take our jobs. And so what can you do? What can you do? That's the rules that is right now. I also think that the idea of saying, I think people also don't understand that there are not enough qualified workers. And in medicine, it's very straightforward. There's U.S. schools can only fill 3/4 of residencies. And in New York City, not even half. And so if we didn't have international graduates and visas, there are whole hospitals that would be, they just aren't enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is.
Exactly.
So I think that if that came to pass, that I think that people would come to realize what the issue is. I also think that they're more going after the tech business, but not doctors. But by the time people watch this, this may be, a settled issue, and
I hope so. I mean, I do know that like American Medical Association, along with like 53 other leading like medical groups, they already submitted like a petition to exclude the healthcare workers, but we just don't know how soon that's going to take place and if it's going to be approved or not. And I did hear that academic hospitals are actually like exempt from that. I hope that's true, but I guess in response to this, then are we, our hospital at least, are we, we're not doing the H1B visa this year?
There's
right?
absolutely no way, impossibility. We couldn't do 10,000. We couldn't do 5,000. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's just.
No, visas and visa conversion is absolutely indispensable to the healthcare of the country. Also, the supply of doctors to many places. The Conrad 30 program, not me. Senator Kent Conrad, who is from, I think, one of the Dakotas. They couldn't get doctors out there. And in many of the more rural states.
Yeah.
And so there's a federal program that allowed 30 doctors a year to convert to citizenship, because without them,
there will be no doctors there.
well, I think that the paradox and the is that irony or hypocrisy? Is that the certain states have a certain political leaning that are also behind this tax on visas are the very states that need
Doctors.
visa conversion doctors because they can't recruit.
Yeah. So for those who have been working on the USMLE process, because of this, they might have stunned and they might have stopped the process. Would you recommend them to continue fighting for it?
Well, there's other visas besides H.
Yeah.
There's other visas besides H. You do a J visa.
J1.
You do a J1. Okay, so I think that it's premature, and I wouldn't stop at all. It's premature, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 year from now, there's another election. Who knows what that changes?
True. And majority of the people usually come through the J1 visa anyways. Yeah. Most of the time. So.
The only thing I would like to edit from what you said is you used the word foreign.
Foreign. Oh, international.
It is better to say international because there's no country in the world that is more than 15% of the population, right? Even if you have 1.2 billion people, that's only 15% of the world population. So that means everyone is foreign to somebody else. And so I also, in New York, 25% of people in Manhattan were born outside the United States. In Queens, 30% were born outside. And in Brooklyn, 38% of people were born outside the United States, and 54% speak a language other than English in the home. So international is not minority, it is the majority. It's the nature of who we are. And particularly in medicine. A quarter went to medical school outside the United States. A quarter of medical students in the United States were born outside the United States and went to an American medical school. And another quarter, the parents were born outside the United States and they grew up speaking a language other than English in the home. So in fact, in medicine, 3/4, you see, it's the norm.
Yeah.
You know, if people spoke English to me without an accent, I wouldn't be able to understand them.
It is the norm, yeah. It has become the norm. And this is why we really need international medical graduates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 4 of my grandparents came off of a boat from some other country, which I'm never going to tell anybody the name of. But why don't I? Why don't I tell people what country my family's from? Because we've had enough tribalism. Tribalism, no good. Then they go, I'm in his group, I'm not in his group. And the answer is, I'm in your group and everyone's in mine.
All right. I guess that's all we have for today.
It's never all. It is merely a momentary pause until the next need, the next mission, and the next chapter.
Yes, that is correct. Absolutely agree.
And remember, once you're done watching this, go and follow Sarang on her channel and make sure that you stay in touch because it's going to find all sorts of ways where Sarang is going to help you out. She is who you want to be. She is the person who spent all the time to prepare and did everything she could, and now she's on the short list to be chief resident. Wow!
Yay! Also, there is a Cramathon for Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3 on the MedQuest, so make sure to check that out. I will put all the description below, so check those classes out.
Thank you very much, Sarang.
Thank you, Dr. Fisher, for your time today, and we will have you guys again, talk to you guys again next time. Bye.